Oh, perfect. There we go. All right. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. All right. Listen, it's been an amazing week on this end. I hope all of you um, have had a prosperous week. Um, it has. I'm actually on the road traveling, so I am 3 hours behind. So my time is a little off. I will be. I'll probably be tired when I get back in town. Um, all good. Hey, welcome to Kingdom Talk Live. Um, I'll probably be tired when I get back in town. Headed back that way soon, um, but it's been good. Trying to balance both ministry and professional, and so I definitely had to make a trip out to the West Coast to see some customers that we work with. Actually, it's been refreshing because the customers that we're seeing or that we saw are actually pastors and leaders and church planters and all that good stuff, all that that operate in that sector. And so it's good to share with them, see what's happening with their churches, see what's happening within their ministries, and just see how God is moving in their lives. Trying to moisturize here, trying to get my life together. It's been cold, right? I'm in California, and it's cold out here, and I don't understand how California can be cold. I understand global warming, that part I do. What's up, Monique? Happy Thursday. I understand it can be cold, um, but it's kind of disrespectful here on where am I? In Sacramento. I'm in Sacramento, getting ready to come back. But I wanted to be sure that we had some time together because we have committed to this time every single Thursday. We moved it back because I have finishing up something on this end, so we moved it back to about 8:30. Shout out to my wife for putting in the stories and letting you guys know that we're coming on a little bit later. I promise not to. Where's that coming from? I promise not to keep y'all too long. Um, but I do want to kind of share something with you that I believe will be helpful to each and every one of us as we march forward further into 2022. Um, we've been on this push, been on this consistent push about vision, about our purpose for life. And I want to be sure that as much as we're talking and discussing vision and purpose, that we're also addressing some things that may or may not be attached to us, things that people have said, ideas that perhaps we've held on to, and things that, in essence, position themselves to limit us. Okay, so tonight's topic is very simple. We're going to discuss removing the limitations, right? Removing the limitations. So much we for those that get on and connect with us. I don't take it lightly that you connect with us. I don't excuse me. I don't take it lightly that you all connect with us. I don't take for granted that you're all in the room with us. I believe that all of us are in this room for transformation. I believe we're here because we want to see God glorified in our lives, in our families, and all that we see and do. And so, because of that, I do not take your time lightly. And so, I want to make sure as we're building this community and having conversation that what I'm sharing with you doesn't just get you rah rah rah, but it also forces you to stop, to think, and to reflect about the what's up, Arthur. Good to see you, man. Uh, Allows you to stop, think, and reflect on on things in your life that perhaps may have been prohibitive of growth, things in your life that may have stunted or stopped your growth. As much as we want to go and build and grow and develop and evolve, to do so without a sense of understanding circumstances, environments, and things that have happened to us and around us, and not putting those into boxes and compartmentalizing them and naming them, so we understand um, what they are, what they mean to us, and what they represent, are critically important. So tonight, I just want to be with you about 40 minutes or so, um, and discuss this removing of limitations. And all of us on this call, whether we don't all have the same limitations. Let's be clear, all of us are not capped. What's up, Bishop? All of us are not capped um, by the same limitations, but all of us have something that is limiting us. Whether it's limiting our ability to be creative, whether it's limiting our ability to function in a relationship, whether it's limiting our ability to love our spouse, our children, or even ourselves. There is something, I promise you, there is something that you have in your life, whether it's relationship, whether it's an experience, something in your life is set up to try and limit you. How do I know this? Because the three moves that the devil has, from the beginning of time, we see it in Scripture, is that his role is to steal, kill, and destroy. I like to encapsulate that by saying the devil likes to place a limit upon you, or at least create an experience, create a conversation, create a moment that seemingly puts a barrier in your way. But I'm not just going to talk to you all the time. We're going to put some Bible on it. So I pulled Matthew 13, verse 58, and it reads just like this: "And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith." I'll read it again, just one verse. "And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith." I'll read it one more time. Matthew 13, verse 58. "And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith." I felt like I was on a Sunday morning. Felt like it was a Sunday morning on that one. Listen, we've got to get to this place where we are cognizant of our own of our humanity, right? But we also have to be aware of the fact that we are spirit, right? Spirit that is encapsulated in flesh and blood. Okay, we are spirit that's encapsulated in flesh and blood, and so in essence, we are on loan. Thank you, Bishop. I can't help it. We are we are on loan to the earth, right? That God has predestined this time, predestined this space, predestined our existence. All of us on this chat, right? God has predestined all of us, believe it or not, to be here in this very moment. All right, to be here in this very moment, but also to live the life that we're living. That's why it is super important to embrace the hand and the gifts and the callings that God has given to you. All right, super important to live, to be comfortable in that space. Understanding the reality that a lot of people are always on their way to this, to that. I'm trying to get the bag. I'm trying to be in this relationship. I'm trying to build this network, not realizing that person that has everything that you think they have on the outside, not knowing what price they paid to get it, and not understanding that perhaps that's been ascribed to their life, or they've gone and secured all those things because they felt like they were lacking something, right? And so to counteract that piece of feeling like something is limiting them, feeling that something is not working for them, y'all excuse me, feels like something is not working for them, they get all these accoutrements of life. So they need the cars, the clothes, the homes, but the Bible is very clear. What does it profit a man, right? What does it profit a person to gain the whole world yet lose their soul doing so? All right, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and yet lose his soul? And so this text that we're lifting up tonight, he did not do many miracles there because of the lack of faith. And what we're talking about contextually is that Jesus is in his hometown Nazareth, and his capabilities of being who he is, right? The capabilities of being who Jesus is limited, not because he doesn't have the power to do it. His capabilities and his character is limited in the city that he is born in because the people don't help create an environment of expectation. Let's go. Yeah. The environment is limited. The environment is limited because the people do not have a level of expectation. He's in his hometown. Jesus's character and his power and his capacity, watch this, is not limited because he is unable to perform these things in front of his hometown. It is limited because the people around him have a lack of expectation to see him do the work. There we go. And so when we're talking about removing limitations, we're talking about a man who healed the sick, raised the dead, opened blinded eyes. We're clear on the miracles that Jesus performs during his earthly ministry. That's what we're clear about, right? And so how do we drop that into what does that mean for our lives, right? What does that mean for our lives now? That he can't do. He was not able to perform miracles in that space and place because of their lack of faith, not because I don't have the power to do it, because they don't believe in me enough to do it. What does that mean for us? I go here every week. There are ideas, there are strategies, there are problems that you see that you're anointed to solve. But your ability to solve those problems lie in your ability to believe in him long enough that he's able to do it. So, for example, it's not that he doesn't have power. It's not that he's not able to do it. It's have I conditioned my mind to suspend the thoughts of others and the thoughts that I've placed upon myself long enough? Can I suppress that long enough, right? Can I turn the volume down of my own voice long enough to turn his up, to ignore what I think and engage in his thoughts? I hope this is making sense tonight. I have to intentionally turn me down and turn him up. Because my thoughts, there we go, my thoughts are the thoughts that are going to have me overthinking. My thoughts will have my thoughts are the ones that are going to have me stressed out. The thoughts that I create in my mind, the narrative that I create in my mind, are the things that'll have me outside of his will, wondering, will he show up? Yeah. I have to set my mind. There we go. Thank you, Cheryl. I've got to set my mind on things that are above. In other words, I have to, it's this. So being in the kingdom, I've got dual citizenship, right? That means I'm on loan from heaven. Let's work within that construct. I'm on loan from heaven, right? And anytime there is a loan must be paid back. And anytime there is a loan that is given and a line of credit is extended, the banking institution is always going to expect a return on its initial investment. So when the bank gives you 30, 50, $100,000, $200,000, whatever the case may be, to go ahead and start a business or to buy a home, or from our homeowners for an auto loan, they're going to give you that money that you need to cover the purchase. But in exchange for giving you the money that they need, they're going to ask you to pay that money back over a period of time, months and years, correct? There we go. But they're going to give it to you at an interest rate. So you're going to pay me back what I gave you, but I'm also going to get interest. So I'm going to get more than what I gave you back. By the time this payment is done, I would have received more from you than what I gave to you. Are you following me? In other words, when I pay that loan back, the bank says I'm going to receive more from you than what I gave to you originally. And so that's how this kingdom construct works. That when God gives us a gift, when God gives us life, when God gives us an opportunity, it is a chance for us, right, to provide him with an ROI. God, you gave me this gift. God, you gave me this opportunity. God, you gave me this space that I can ebb and flow in. You gave me this thing, and I've got to work with it, because at the end of my life I'm on loan, right? Meaning I'm not here forever, meaning I'm just passing through. My home, my residence is really in heaven. I'm just hanging out here. But when I come back and repay what you've given to me, I've got to give you more than what you gave me. And so it is here that the people are missing out on what Jesus can do in his own hometown, because they don't understand the principle of a ROI. I hope this is making sense. You, our lives, our lives are on loan, and we must be able to offer. Uh, we must be able to pour our lives out and be squeezed in such that when we are squeezed, yes, we return we return what's been given to us, but we're not like the farmer that holds on to the talents, right? And I'm gonna store it away, and I'm gonna put it away, and I'm gonna hold on to, I'm gonna hoard it, right? We are not to hoard our gift, just like we are not to hoard our faith. The Bible declares that you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you can be able to move a mountain. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, what's up, Kay? You can be able to move a mountain, meaning I need you to have this much faith. I need you to have this much faith, right? That much faith, and you can do great works, great exploits. In fact, the word declares to us that greater work shall we do, because I go to the Father. This is what Jesus is sharing with his disciples, right? Towards the end of his life. So it is that when we're talking about removing these limitations, what would our lives look like if we didn't believe the narratives that people gave to us? Hello? What would our lives look like if we intentionally did not believe the narratives that people gave us? I'm talking about friends, talking about family, talking about parents, I'm talking about coworkers, I'm talking about the marketplace, I'm talking about the world. Everybody has an opinion based upon what they think. And I'm telling you this year that your thoughts are going to kill you. You can't keep thinking the same thoughts that you've been thinking and expect to get a different return. You can't. You cannot think the thoughts you've been thinking and thinking you're going to get a better return. Your thoughts and his thoughts are two different things. In fact, his word backs it up. He says, "My thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are not your ways." I'm in the book. In other words, I don't even move like you move. I don't even think like you think. You see limitations, I see opportunity. And the only way we're going to get to what God has for us, if we start to see things through the lens that he sees it through. On these glasses, there's a blue filter. This blue filter allows me to see, look at a computer screen for a really long time and not do as much damage as I would do had I not had these glasses on, right? This blue filter here allows me to look at the screen for a long time, and it allows me to see, right? The glasses allow me to see, okay? In the same thought, we've got to get to a place this year, this month, this week, that we become intentional about putting a new lens on. So when we see, we're not seeing through our own lens, because our lenses, our eyes, our understanding, right? Our level of comprehension has limits attached to it. There are limits attached to us because of what parents have said, because of what educators have said to us, because of what society has said to us, because of what we've said to us, because of what exes have said to us, said about us. And now we spend our lives, right? We spend our lives, this may not be you, we spend our lives trying to extrapolate, and give a compartment to put these things into, so we can understand what they mean for our lives. Here's my word of advice. Yes, I am a proponent for mental health. Yes, I am a proponent for finding a very, very good therapist that you can sit down and talk with. But I am also a proponent of you owning the space that God gives you to dominate, which means you've got to do the work of renewing your mind and understanding that what people have put on you does not define you. We ain't talking about nothing new tonight. I want you to know, you got to know this year there are generations that are going to be blessed by the decisions you make this year. You've got kids, grandkids, great grandkids that are counting on you to make the right decision this year. And you cannot allow your thoughts to rob you of the future that God has already promised you. Am I talking good tonight? Are you understanding this? There's too much on the line. There's too much on the line for you to get caught up in what's happened to you in the past. I'm not saying it didn't hurt. I'm not trying to be dismissive of your pain. I'm not trying to be dismissive of any experience that you had. What I am challenging you to do is use that limitation as fuel for your future to march forward. Because the future you is depending on the now you to make the right decision. The future you is depending on the now you to make the right decision. He said, I couldn't do anything else in that area because of their lack of faith. And I'm telling you tonight that God's saying, I want to take the limits off, but they got to believe that those limits don't even belong to them. They've accepted a definition that was never meant to fit them. They're living beneath their means, and they're going to miss the promise. What great exploits would he do in Nazareth if the people would have just believed? And I want to push this. It's not about communal belief. It is about individual belief. If everybody believes the way they're supposed to believe, then the community won't have an issue running with it. But all it takes is one person or a group of people to say, I'm questioning this. I am unfit. I don't have the qualifications. I don't look like it doesn't look like he can use me. My life is too messed up. I don't know enough scripture. I feel like I'm confused. I'm all one day it's this, the other day it's that. Stop the excuses. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your life to be? Are you going to give God an ROI on his initial investment, or are you going to hand him back exactly what he gave you? Or worse, are you going to squander what he gave you and come back to the king empty-handed? What you going to do? You have to remove the limitations. Limitate he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith. He says, I'm going to give you all this work, but I'm only going to give you the work if you believe I can do it. It's not a matter of if. It's not a matter of can. If he can do it. Can he do it? Can he do it? The question I'm asking you tonight is, do you believe he can do it? I was in an Uber yesterday, and there was a gentleman, the driver that was driving us. The guy that was driving us got in, and he had I thought it was Dr. Miles Monroe that was playing. It wasn't. It was another pastor, but he sounded just like him. And when we got in the car, uh, our spirits connected. Our spirits connected, and the conversation was hinging upon God can do absolutely anything, but you got to believe. The conversation, I don't know this man. It wasn't Hart Ramsey. It was it's an African pastor. It wasn't Hart Ramsey. Um, Pastor Chris from Africa, I believe. Forget his last name. Um, do you believe God can. Do you believe that's where the rubber meets the road? God says, listen, I don't lack resources. I don't lack insight. I don't lack creativity. I certainly don't lack ingenuity. I don't, there's nothing in me that preaches lack. There's nothing. The question becomes, do you believe I can do it? And the challenge with so many of us is that we feel like we're unworthy of receiving what God has for us, and we disqualify ourselves from receiving the blessing because we feel like somebody else deserves it. And so I can't just teach purpose and vision and not try to push you past the things that are prohibiting, right? That are stopping you from seeing what it is that's in front of you. That's another one. All right, let me not get off of it. But let's hit that real quick. Um your job is not your work. Your job, right? Your job is to give you resource, and it's to give you insight until what it is that you work on from 5 to 9 takes off. I'm in that spot now. I'm out in out of state on a work trip. I've been working since I got here Tuesday nonstop, but I'm still on here because I know I got to put the work in 5 through 9, right? And beyond, because the work doesn't stop. And my job allows me, right? My job. So I had to, that's perfect. I'm so glad we stopped there. And we're gonna hasten. Um, my job gives me an opportunity to connect with people that I would not meet otherwise. I travel a little bit and I meet people that are in the space, hotel, convention, event business space, right? And in my travels, God gives me an opportunity to talk to people about Kingdom Hustle. And it's so appropriate that I be at a conference with a whole bunch of pastors and religious leaders that plan meetings so I can talk about Kingdom Hustle and not only just share the work with them, but now we're in a space where we can collaborate because we're moving into space that a lot of them may not be knowledgeable in, may not be confident in, or better yet, they want to be able to support. Not even just yeah, let's not push that. I don't not even be able to support, but able to build a community and come alongside. Do you see that? And so your job is not your work, and your work is not your job. Your work is what you do after you get fired from the job. The job is what you have that helps make way for the work for the work to move forward. The job provides the resource. The job provides the network. The job provides opportunity to grow. Your job is to grow your skill set. That's what your job is there for. That's what the job is. All right. I learn how to execute. I learn how to strategize. I learn how to budget. I learn how to talk to people. I learn what it is. God will not elevate to the next level until you understand the principle of what your job is there for. And that's a whole nother lesson. I hope that's helpful. Don't cast off the job. Don't cast off the job. There's tons of people that I think November, like 4 million people, 4 or 5 million people quit their job in November. Listen, if everybody's a boss, who's the employee? Everybody wants to. If everybody's a boss, who's the employee? Let's all right. Let's so removing the limitations and removing these limitations, we've got to understand. There's a few different things I want to lift up here. That Jesus, he says, listen, I couldn't do many works in that space, in that place, because of their lack of faith. They did not believe. What are we cutting ourselves off from? Because we have a lack of faith. I'm not just one of those faith teachers, but faith is core. Faith is imperative. Faith is essential. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. And if we're gonna make God proud, then we've got to learn how to operate and move in Faith. Faith is what we need. Faith is our currency. Faith is what we submit to the bank of God. It is what we deposit into the bank of God that shows God that we trust him, that we believe him, that we're waiting on him, that he's the GOAT. And goats always come through. For those who understand the GOAT reference, greatest of all time. Amen, Walls. He didn't do many miracles there because of their lack of faith. Listen, this year, we're going to remove limitations day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. We're going to make a list of the things that limit us. Let's do that tonight. Let's make a list of the things that limit us, whether it is, and let's move beyond finances. I'm led to say that. Let's move beyond finances being a limitation. Finances, while it may be a limitation, there is an underlying reason to why finances are a limitation. All right. It could be finances could be a limitation. I have four things I want to share, but finances could be a limitation because you're not a good steward. Not just a good steward of money, you may not be a good steward of time. And because you're not a good steward of time, you spend time and money in places that don't bring you a good return. Seed time and harvest. In the season, there is a season to plant, there is a season to water, there is a season for growth, and there is a season for reaping. Right? All these seasons, you hear me? So it's not that you have an issue with money. You don't have an issue with money. Your issue is stewardship. Where do you sow your time, and where do you sow your money? Not your money, your effort, your energy. You don't have it. Money ain't the issue. There's always enough money. I told somebody the other day. I said, listen. I said this pandemic has birthed more millionaires. Cryptocurrency has birthed more millionaires in a record amount of time. You know why? Because they knew they had to be good stewards of what they had already. I feel the old Baptist spirit coming on me now. They had to be good stewards over what they had already. It's not that you need more money. If you need more money, you don't have good stewardship. You don't need more money. You need to learn how to make better decisions. You need to not be swayed by what people say, do, or think about you. What you think about me is not my problem. This year, we got to get locked into, how do I suspend my thoughts long enough? How do I suspend my thoughts long enough about me, suppress the voice that I hear about me, turn up his voice, and believe his report about my life? Read me, God. That's my prayer. Yep, there we go. Come on. Y'all want to talk about reading? Housewives ain't the only folks that can read. God, read me. Read me. Give me my report card. What area needs to be worked on? What limitation? Let me stay focused. In removing money from the list of limitations, what's been limiting me? Is it the fact that I don't talk to you long enough? Is it the fact that I'm always looking for the latest and greatest thing? Is it the fact that I'm impatient and I want to be the master of my own destiny? I want to create my own destiny. What is it, God, that's limiting my ability to hear from you authentically? I don't want to be swayed. This is my prayer. I don't want to be swayed by what looks shiny and new. I don't want that. I've tried it. It doesn't work for me. I need you to speak. And here's what I'll do while I wait for you to speak. I'll wait. I'm gonna sit right here and wait on you. I know they about to sign their offer letter. I know they're about to move into their new home. I know they've got a book deal coming. I know their business is booming. They're booked, busy, and blessed, baby. But that is not going to prohibit or hinder my process of waiting on you. These limitations have held me bound for too much. I'm free. I got to get free. I have to get free. This year, I have to get free. There are generations that are depending on my ability to be free. I can't sit here like this. If he's saying I couldn't do miracles there because of their lack of faith, this statement will not be said about me. That's what you got to tell yourself. Listen, I want the Lord to do great exploits in my life. I want the sick to be healed. I want the blind to see. I want the lame to walk. I want the bank to say yes to the loan. I want the investors to come to the table. I want my marriage to be cool. I want my children to be blessed. I want their seed to be blessed. I want us to have generational security. I want us to be cool. I don't necessarily have to be famous, but I certainly would like the Lord to be able to take care of me. That's good. Y'all talking tonight. Cheryl put in the comments, she said, I asked what reasons, parentheses, excuses am I accepting as limitations? Yeah, that's good. Let me, all right. You've been in my lesson. Get out my lesson. I'm sorry. That's good though. Yeah, that's good. So the first thing I want to share with you is this. Limitations only exist because you agree with them. There's 4 things I want to share, 4 principles, 4 thoughts I want to share with you. The first one is this. Limitations only exist because you agree with them. I'm gonna wait. Let me see here. Limitations only exist because you agree with them. Y'all hear me? Yeah, you come, we come into agreement, right? There's power in agreement. That's positive and negative. Just because you said it doesn't mean I have to agree with it. And just because my mama did it, just because my daddy did it, just because it runs in my family does not mean it's going to stay attached to me. Oftentimes, we wear generational behavior as a badge of honor. And when you do so, you rob the creator of the universe of of the ability to deliver and to develop a generation. I'll say it again. When we hang our hats on generational behavior, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, we rob the creator of doing a new thing in an upcoming generation. We can't do that. You cannot allow the limitations that others have casted, projected, and shared with you. You cannot agree with them. If it does not define you, if it does not edify the body of Christ, if it does not grow you, challenge you, stretch you, prove you, I cannot accept it. Can't, just like you, if you're about to accept an offer on your home and you're selling your home and you're in the real estate market, if somebody comes in with an offer that is below asking price, I'm rejecting it. Why? Because I understand the value of the asset. Ooh, we talking tonight. I will reject the offer because I understand the value of the asset. What is the asset in this sense? My life is the asset. The gift God gave me is the asset. My mentality is my life, my soul, my spirit is my asset, which means I will not allow anyone to come in and make an offer that degrades and devalues who I am. I can't do it. I refuse to do it. That's the attitude and posture that we've got to move forward with this year, is that I will not allow my asset to be devalued. I paid too much for it. I've worked too hard for it. I've suffered too much for it. I will not be accepting any limitations that you send my way this year if I do not agree with them. Again, I'll repeat I am not accepting any limitations you send my way if I do not agree with them. The only reason I shouldn't say only reason, one of the many reasons that we've got limitations is because we agree with them. The power of agreement. I'll share this with you, and this is I'm letting y'all in. I had a conversation. I got 3 more points. I'm getting out of here. I got 10 minutes. Y'all keep me honest. Y'all keep please. Can y'all keep me honest? Thank you. Um, I had a conversation with my father some time ago, and we were talking about how he was raised. And I don't think he would mind me sharing this. And I think it's full transparency. My dad's 85 years old. Love him. That's my guy. That is my dude. 85 years strong. All right. And he had shared with me. He had worked the same job for about 60 years, being a spotter and a dry cleaners, dedicated to it. But he had shared a story with me in which his mother, when he was growing up, he was never really pushed, never really challenged. He also grew up, important to mention this, in the Jim Crow South of Alabama. Born in 1935, saw Dr. King's rise, saw the civil rights movement rise, but also was very, 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 very aware of the KKK, of Jim Crow, of segregation, of racism, of just the harsh reality that many of our brothers and sisters lived in long before we got to the civil rights piece, right? We're talking about chattel slavery and all of that. And in a conversation that he was having with his mother while he was a very young boy, he had shared how she mentioned to him that he would not or did not have the mental capacity to be much of anything, that he didn't have what it took uh, to go far or to develop or to be great. In other words, she told him he wasn't smart enough and that he wouldn't do it and he wouldn't amount to anything. And he accepted it. And by accepting that, that was the lot that he carried his entire life. And so for him to work at the same place for 60 years is not a knock. I'm sharing the story. The same place for 60 years and not go for more. Had an opportunity to have home ownership, got okey doke out the deal, backdoor deal. God promised him that he'd have a shot to buy the home. He did not give him a fair shake at getting a home. And so he missed out on the blessing of home ownership, of having equity. Um, had a wanted to open up a to-go fish spot and was not able to do so because of the limitation that he agreed with when he was just a boy, and his mother placed the limitation on him. And so that's why this lesson is so critically important tonight. That limitations only exist because you agree with them. Had he not agreed with her, I wonder what his life would be like. And we're not going to sit here and pick it apart, but I've had the benefit of sitting with him and hearing that story come out of his mouth. But I'm also, and I've seen the regret on his face. Let's pause there. I've seen the regret on his face of not being able to maneuver and get himself detached from such limitation. Conversely, I've also seen I've seen the optimism in his eyes light up as he and I collaboratively work together to bring a vision and a dream that he had as a younger man come to pass in his older years. So this is why removing limitations has generational ramifications, because if you catch the glimpse of what a limitation can do when it's on you, and you catch the glimpse of what a limitation can do when it is taken off of you, you would much rather take the limitation and throw it off as opposed to living your life with it on. The second thing I want to share is limitations suggest that God is unable. Limitations suggest, the limitations that we place upon ourselves and the ones that we come into agreement with, suggest that God is unable, that he cannot do it, that he is void of options, that he does not have the sauce, that he is unable to perform. And I've never seen anywhere in this book where God was out of options. Gee, we here tonight. I've never seen David would say, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. The book of Robert Woods tonight declares, I've never seen God out of options. I know it says don't add or subtract anything from this book. That was just a creative liberty. Y'all don't judge me. I've never seen God out of options. I've seen people tell God that there's nothing he can do. Pastor, don't come in here and do that tonight. Don't listen, empty the clip, my boy. He's always got one in the chamber. He's never out of, I've never seen him not be able to position himself to take the last shot. I've never seen him not be able to have the final word. I've never seen him not to be able to have the final say. We are the ones that say, God, there's nothing else to do. And the conversation ought to be, God, I've done everything I can do. That's where the conversation is. So when we're talking about removing these limitations, here's what we're going to say. God, I've done everything I could do. I put the strategy together. I wrote it down. You told me that some of these things come by prayer and fasting. I did both. I did A and B. I did everything I knew to do on my end. It's in your hands. God is going to be our first and our last resort. That's where we're at. He's going to be first and last. That's it. He's going to be the option A, B, C, D, E, A through Z. He is the first and the last. Ooh, beginning and the end, Alpha and Omega. I felt that. Limitations suggest that God is unable, and I don't believe it. And I see y'all sending hearts up. Y'all don't believe it either. I don't believe God is able to do exceeding and abundantly above all that we ask or think, according, you hear me now, according to the power that's at work in us. In other words, God says, I can do above and beyond what you ask me, but it's according to your faith. Hello, somebody. And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith. The issue is not, can I get this work? The issue is, do you believe you can get this work? Do y'all hear me? The issue is not, the issue is not, the issue is not, can I do it? The issue is, do you believe I can do it? The leper believed he can do it. The widow believed he can do it. Lazarus' sister believed he can do it. It's progression. That's it, Monique. It's progress. I love when y'all talk because I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. It's progressive. Our faith is progressive. What I was believing for in my 20s is not what I'm believing for in my 30s. Because I've seen him move, I graduate to another level and dimension of faith. I don't get irresponsible with it and not do my part. But however, I do my part and trust him to do the parts that I can't do. Faith without works is dead. So that means I got to put the work in. I'm obligated to it. All right. I told y'all. All right. I got two more, and I said I was going to be off by was it 9? What's that? What time is it? What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. Okay. It's almost not. Y'all hanging out with me late, man. I'm 3 hours behind. We rocking. We rocking tonight. I love it. I love it. Listen, limitations suggest that God is unable. The third part, I got two more and I'm out of here. Limitations are the projected realities of people who are afraid. I'll say it again. Limitations are the projected realities of people who are afraid. Thank you, baby. Appreciate that. Project limitations are the projected realities of people who are scared. What do I mean there? I want to suggest that we must remove the limitations because one, we're not going to accept, right? We're not going to accept the limitation. We're not going to come into agreement with the limitations that people place upon us. That's what we're not going to do, right? But the limitations that people try to place upon us are is the projection of their own reality. In other words, you think it can't be done. You think it's impossible. You think it can't happen. I'm too busy focusing on God working it out that I can't pay attention to you. I can't focus. I got to audit the circle. I got to audit the table because I need people at the table that can believe in the impossible. I need people at the table that understand that no is just one more word, that no means I need to have at least one more conversation to convince you otherwise. I need to audit the circle. I need to audit the crew. I need to check my connections. I got to make sure that the wires are attached. Am I plugged into the right person? Am I saying the right things? Am I in the right space? I got to make sure that the people I'm eating with, right? The people I'm eating with, is your palate like mine? That's why I love how Jesus literally grabs 12 men. And here's and Darius Daniels helps us see this. And I love it. I love how he articulates it. He does not get people from the church to help turn the world upside down. He gets people that are savvy in the marketplace. He gets people that are savvy in business. He gets people that are savvy in government organization. He gets savvy with people who understand government policy and the marketplace. He says, you religious folks, take the building. I'm going to take the city. The city. You church folks, enjoy your service. Enjoy your Sabbath. But as for me and my posse, we finna turn this thing upside down. That's what we gonna do. That's what we gonna do. I'm gonna sit with the tax collectors. I'm gonna sit with the folks that are unsavory in your book. I'm gonna sit with the people that you think are unclean, that are social deviants. I'm going to sit strategically with the people that make you uncomfortable. Why? Because I don't believe in limits. Where you put labels, you attach a limit. Say it again. Where you place labels, you attach a limit to it. And limits are nothing but the projected reality of people who are afraid. Jesus' ministry and his presence makes the religious leaders afraid. Because now, now the rubber meets the road. Now we're going to see ministry. Now the healing is going to begin. And Jesus says, listen, I've got no time. My time is short. I got 3.5 years. I got to be strategic. I have to be specific. I have to be intentional because my time is running out. I'm clear on why I'm here. And the projected reality and limitation that y'all are trying to place on me after I told you who I am and you elected to not agree with it, I know how I need to move. In this season, hear me, in this season, when you tell people who you are and they decide to agree or not agree with it, believe them. You hear me? When you are clear on who you are and you can begin to articulate who, I've got the hand going now, and you can begin to articulate who you are and people agree with you or do not agree with you, there you are. Believe them. If they're gonna go with you, great. If they're not gonna go with you, that's good too. You don't need millions of folks to turn the world. We caught we're seeking attention. I gotta get out of here. We're seeking attention so much so that we feel like we need these big audiences to make impact. When the recipe is find your 12 and build. Find your 12 and be disruptive. Find your 12 and cause havoc. Find your 12 that are committed. Find your 12 that got the sauce. Find your 12 that you can trust, and find an inner circle that you can put at the table, huh? And eat with them, sup with them, travel with them, do life with them. I just saw that. Yeah. Listen, Monique said, she said, I'm going over my calories in faith. I don't want no serving size. Yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, we gonna eat. We gonna eat by faith, and we gonna eat in the physical. Do you hear me? Listen, and yeah, Bianca, you may have to do that too until they show up, right? Because I won't go all through it, but yeah, Jesus essentially turns things upside down before the 12 show up, because he tells John the Baptist, I have need of you baptizing me. And John's like, bro, I'm not even unworthy to untie the laces of your sandals. But he said, listen, in order for this thing to go down the way it needs to go down, we're going to have to break some rules. I say this parenthetically. In order for us to do the things that God's calling us to, in order for us to pull out the gift, right, that he's given to us, we're going to have to do some things that seem unorthodox and out of order, but they are permissive because it honors God. They're permissive because it honors the order that God is moving in. Limitations are the projected realities of people who are afraid. Because they're scared to be themselves, they don't want you to be who God's called you to be. Because they're uncomfortable with what God's given to them, everyone else must feel the same. And I'm telling you, this year, we are not accepting the limitations that other people have placed upon us. I don't want your box. I don't fit in your box. I'm too big for your box. I'm disruptive. I'm a problem. I'm a troublemaker. I don't fit in your box. We're going to fight if you put me in this box. I felt that. We're going to fight if you got one more time to put me in this box, and we finna throw down. I'm not in this box. I know who made the box. I'm getting upset now. I know who made the box, and that's not what I'm here for. Last thing, and I'm gone. I want to be respectful of your time. Limitations, right? Removing the limitations. Limitations will cause you to miss out on God's blessings. It's not deep. It's not deep. Had my father believed everything his mother told him and didn't give God this mustard seed of faith that we talk about, in so much that he would believe in faith that what was a dream for him can be a reality in coming generations, he would miss out on the blessing. And sometimes the blessing is not the manifestation of what we saw in our head. Sometimes the blessing of the manifestation happens when somebody can pick up what you saw and what you wrote down and run with it. Good God from Zion. Did you catch that? Sometimes the blessing is not is not seeing the manifestation of what you saw. Sometimes the blessing of the manifestation is seeing someone pick up where you left off. Life is but a vapor. And Paul declares that he was being poured out like a drink offering, like a libation. but that he was faithful to his journey, faithful to his call. And although there is so much more work to be done, I'm tagging a successor that can run with the best of them. 2 Timothy shares that with us. And so limitations will cause you to miss out on the blessing. But the manifestation of the blessing isn't always seeing what you saw, but the manifestation of the blessing is seeing someone run with what it is that you see. Can you keep running? Because the vision has been made clear. Are you able to turn down the volume of your own voice long enough to hear his? Removing the limitations this year, removing excuses, let's be clear, this year. The word I can't does not exist. I'll try and I'll do. Because wherever there is an honest attempt for development and growth, I believe God honors those moves and those acts of faith and rewards us according to our faith. According to your faith, be it done unto you. He's not asking for perfection. He's asking that you try. There are net-breaking blessings. I'm done. There are net-breaking blessings that are waiting for you. But if you only fish on one side of the boat, you'll never explore. You'll never know. You'll never see what could be possible. Never see what could be possible. If you did not remove the limitation, dismiss the fear and the disappointment of coming up with empty nets, and not explore the possibility of what's on the other side of the boat. Jesus says you were fishing there all night. I'm done. Jesus says you were fishing on one side of the boat all night. He said, but I believe there's something different for you. But it's going to cause for you to be repositioned. And for whatever reason, you keep fishing on this side of the boat. It's comfortable for you. That's the side that you had previous success. Historically, a strong side for you. But in my homiletical imagination, I believe that what Jesus wanted the disciples to see that night was that if you trust me in the transition and give me an ounce of faith, I'll put something in your nets that you would have never imagined. I will break your nets. What does that mean? I will break the cap of creativity. I will break the cap of poverty. I will break the cap of lack that is in your life. But I need you to be uncomfortable. And I need you to drop your nets on the other side. Many of us will miss it because comfort has become king for us. But for those that want to explore being uncomfortable for a season, for a moment, for a space of time, God has exceeding and abundant waiting on us on the other side of the boat. Notice you didn't have to get off the boat. Notice you did not have to go to another location. Notice that God did not even make you come into shore and put you in timeout and send you out the next day. He says, if you would just turn the other way, take the same net, but turn. In other words, take the same net, not telling you to change your resource, but trust me with where you drop it. And as you trust me, I'll be a blessing to you. Remove the limitations for your life this year. Woo. Good Lord. Remove the limitations from your life. Trust God in the process. Trust him in the transitions. Matthew 13:58. And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith. There's no excuses this year. There's no limitations this year. The only limitation that exists is the ones that you accept. The only limitation that you exist are the ones that people have painted as their reality and want that to become yours. No. Can y'all hear me? Can you all still hear me? I had a call come through. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Yeah. Trust the process. Can you hear me? Can you still hear me? Okay, hold on. I had a call come through. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, I'm leaving and coming back. I'm leaving and coming back. Hold on. Oh, y'all come back. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I am so sorry about that. Um, you know, listen, I had a phone call come through, and when the phone rings and you're on live, it shoots the audio off, so you can't even hear. It's the most annoying thing known to man. I'm gonna just give folks a couple more minutes just to come back in. A couple seconds, not minutes. A couple seconds. I'm sorry about that. Um, I sent a very mean text message to the person that called me and said, "You ruined my sound. The Lord was in the room, and you disturbed. The Lord was in His holy temple. and you disturbed. All right, we'll give folks a couple seconds to come back in. Again, my apologies. I had a call come in. Oh God, it's the balancing act of things. Um, there we go. My apologies. Listen, we're not accepting limitations this year. Excuses do not do not win the battle for our minds, for our families, for our lives this year. The demon, there's a demon on my phone, and that's why the sound went out. But we saved that, we archived that, and we'll be dispensing that because we need to share that. People need to hear that for sure. We're extremely grateful for what God allows us. Um, Thank you, baby. Yes, we're gonna have to. This iPhone, man, is so tricky. Yeah, we gonna get better with it. We're learning and growing. Listen, limitations only exist because you agree with them. I do not agree with the limitation that IG puts on me when I get a phone call that it has to knock out the live. I do not agree with it. It's a demon, straight for the pit of hell, and it's going back. Okay, limitations only exist because you agree with them. All right. Limitations suggest that God is unable. Limitations are the projected realities. Whoo, that's good. The projected realities of people who are afraid. Do not place your limitations on me. Your limitations are not wanted over here. Goodbye. Okay. And limitations will cause you to miss out on God's blessings, right? I may not see the full manifestation of it, but that I'm going to do my part to limit the limitation, to remove it, right? Going to eliminate the limitation because I want to see God glorified in the lives and the generations of those to come. In other words, people will be blessed based upon my decision to say yes continually. Does that make sense? Generations will be blessed because I kept telling God yes. Does that make sense? That there will be no gap, no lack, no drop off. That there will be no drought because I'll keep telling God. I'll find ways to tell God yes. Kingdom hustle is that we keep telling God yes. I don't know what this is going to look like 40 years from now. It's not my concern. My concern is every day I wake up, I'm going to give God yes. I'm going to keep telling him yes. And I'll keep growing, keep stretching, keep maturing. And I'll recall the experiences that my father had and know that at no matter what age you're at, you can still give God a fresh yes, and you can still see the vision that you had manifested in years to come. I may not see it. King said that. I may not get there with you. He said, but I see the promised land. There's a promised land that God has for each and every one of us. It is our it becomes our obligation to not allow limitations to knock us off that path. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. Gotta have to do not disturb. We got to be better with that. It's all right. The Lord's kind. The Lord is very kind. Listen, that's all I've got for us tonight. Before this phone ring again, I'm grateful for each and every one of y'all. We in overtime. Y'all rocking with me tonight. We we down like four flats on the Cadillac. I love it. You guys have a hunger and a thirst. Um, I'm past it being y'all coming on because y'all know us. Y'all coming on because you're receiving something, and that makes my heart smile. Yeah, that makes my heart smile. Makes my heart smile. Um, Share what we're doing. Share what we're doing with those. Yeah, please turn your post notifications on. Yeah, if you've not already, turn your post notifications on. Come in the room with us. Come in the room with us. This is the place of transformation. It is a place where you can come in and receive. We often pour out so much that we have to make sure that we're getting poured back into. Um, And we also have a responsibility to disengage from those things that would create limits and lack for us. God has not designed us to live in that, and so we are going to empty the tank, empty the clip, in a sense. Okay, okay, okay. Um, yeah, that we're gonna have to take a look at that. Um, yeah. Listen, if you all would like to connect with us and to uh, listen. So here's the opportunity. We've created a community, an online community called Kingdom Hustle Community. The link is in our bio. Um, that we are committed to doing this work of helping people find their purpose. Our purpose is to help people find theirs, right? And so we want to be able to help convert people from just thinking that they have to be borrowers, but that they can become lenders, right? And so, with that thought, we've started a Patreon that allows us to partner with anyone in the world. Um, there's 4 different partnership levels. The link is in the bio. It allows us to continue to do this kind of work, to grow, to expand, to build out our team, and to reach others. Um, and so that opportunity is in our bio now. That you can certainly go there and sign up to become a patron. I think the amount is $7.12 a month. That's the lowest partnership opportunity that we have. For $7.12 a year, not a year, Jesus. For $7.12 a month, you can help us turn the world upside down in Jesus' name. That more people need this. More people need to hear this kind of teaching. More people need to know that they have options. That God is never out of options. That God is committed to their growth and to their development. And so we are an extension of what He's doing in the earth. We also want to be able to give the Lord an ROI, a return on His investment. And so this is our part. I wish. Listen, if the Lord can do it, hey, break it, bless it, multiply it. But $7.12 a month, that's the lowest partnership that we offer, man. If you really rock with us and you want to support the move that we're doing, that link is there in the bio. If you've got questions about it, reach out, DM us. If we need to jump on a call and talk about it, we can certainly do that. As a pastor, as a servant leader, I want to help people live the best life that they can. And so we don't ask for a tithe. We do not ask for an offering. If that's what you like to give, sure, by all means, go ahead and do it. But the bare minimum that we ask for while we do this work is that you become a partner with us, a monthly partner with us on our Patreon, that we're able to create more of this content, distribute it, share it, put it in front of more people. There's also Devotional that I had the opportunity to write, that I was in a bit of a dark place, depression, I'll call it what it is, right? That it was seeking to limit me. And so I have a devotional that I wrote, the 5 days to getting unstuck devotional. 5 days to getting unstuck devotional, that is actually on Amazon, but the link is in the bio as well. It is an incredible work that we put together. And so I'd like you to see it, like you to take a look at it. If you're stuck and you're trying to get unstuck, I think that's something that'll help you sort out where you are and put you on a track that can get you back into a place of growth and development. But yeah, those are the ways that you can connect with us. We're here on IG. We're here what is this, Instagram? But yeah, we're intentionally building community online within Patreon. Again, prayerfully consider, join, connect with us. This is our life's work. We're going to continue to encourage, push, develop people to become their true, full, authentic selves. That's what we're going to do. Our purpose is to help you find yours. Period. Point blank. We win when you win. That's it. I don't have any other plot or scheme. I got nothing else for you. Listen, if you've enjoyed this tonight, do me a favor, send the hearts out. I think we had a good number of folks on tonight. That makes my heart smile. Of course, sound goes out. People are easily distracted. It's Thursday night. Y'all rock with us. They got what they needed. We pray that they come back. But we're gonna keep doing it in Jesus' name. Y'all send the hearts up if you really enjoyed tonight's lesson. I'm certainly excited about what God is doing. Um, certainly excited about what God is doing in this season. Net breaking blessings. Audit your table. Audit your table. All right. Let's pray out. Father, we bless and thank you for what our eyes have seen and our ears have heard. We thank you so much, God. Um, we ask that you would empower us to examine what has been limiting us. We ask you that you give us the grace, the mercy, and the strength to begin to remove those things and to have those conversations internally and externally, that you would give us a wisdom and discernment to move how we need to move in the next space and place of our lives. We believe you. We trust you. We love you so much. God, expand, do a new thing in us as we give your name praise, honor, and glory. We trust you with our lives. We trust you in the transitions. We trust you with our existence. It is in Jesus' name that we do pray. Amen. Peace. Love y'all. All right. We'll catch you later. Be well.